Howard live, so please welcome Luke Howard. Thank you very much indeed, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for that wonderful, beautiful round of applause. Good morning, everybody. It's just gone 11 o'clock, 11:02. Welcome to the show. It's Saturday, the 10th of October. I shall repeat, it is the 10th of October, and it is Saturday. And the times have changed just for 1 week only. We are on at 11 o'clock, and then next week is going to be back to normal at the time of 10 till 10:45 a.m. precisely. Coming up on Britain's Best Radio Show today, we are going to be playing lots of great music. There'll be news, there'll be entertainment, there's going to be topical discussions in the news, in the papers as well. And I've also got my my little iPads here, which is what also got some other information that I have put in the news throughout the week, of course, because I've done my other research as well. But we'll get to that later on in the show, because I'm going to pick a piece of news out from the news this week that was on the BBC News, what I usually do. And then we're also going to be talking about this. But I mean, the weather's a bit grim today, isn't it? Come on, the weather's a bit grim. So we are going to talk a little bit about that on the show today, and lots of things. But I do want to start off, though, by telling you how you can get in touch with Britain's Best Radio Show today. So it's 07593 847 105. It's the number to text or call. If you are texting, do start with the word talk and your name and where you are from. Or if you do call that number, call the 07593 847 105, and I shall get back to you with a lovely message to say that you have got a wonderful mention on Britain's Best Radio Show. Or you can email us. It's GaryJHoward68@hotmail.com, or you can find me on Instagram. It's it's the Luke Howard fan page, or drop me an email. It's 345 457 or you can also find me on hashtags, #Luke Howard, #Luke Howard Live, or #listen to Luke Howard Live. Would love to hear from you on the show. However you do get in touch with me today, I'll be so happy to hear from you. I did get in this morning just straight after I had the flu, because we are going to talk about flu jabs in a moment, because that was why that we had to change the timings of the show today, because I had to have my flu jab. So we are going to talk about flu jabs in a moment or two. Should they do them every single year? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, I think it's a very good thing. We all need to. I tell you what, let's talk about this now. Okay, yeah. Do you think flu jabs should happen at the moment because of COVID or not? Because of course they're talking more about COVID flu jabs, but I think COVID jabs, but I think they should do the flu jabs. Okay, it's a good thing. They should do it. They're very good. And I just think they should do it. They cannot stop it because of COVID. They've got to keep carrying on with the flu jab like every single year, and that is my say on the flu jab. So I did have mine this morning, which is why the show is on a little bit later today. Right, okay. Let's talk about the National Trust then to kick off the show today. I love the National Trust. I've always loved it. It's a great charity. I feel a bit achy after my flu jab now. Anyway, I feel alright, I'm fine. Yeah, the National Trust, okay. Now, this is Dovedale Peak District, okay, and it's in, I think it's in the Peak District. Of course it is. It's Dovedale in the Peak District. Yeah, so almost 1,300 jobs. They are going to be at risk as well, because due to COVID, it's all going to be going as well, because it's all to go at the Crisis Hit National Trust as it seeks to save 100 million in annual costs. The trust has said it will make 514 compulsory redundancies, with a further 782 staff. This is taking voluntary pay offers. This is in a move that will save about 59 million a year, and it's got a cut to travel budgets, office costs, and marketing, and it's also using digital communications, and it's all tested, okay, of the particular, and they also hoped to save for £41 million. Now, pledging to support those who have been affected, the National Trust leader wants to be forced into announcing I think they're going to be announcing any redundancies, but the coronavirus does mean, of course, they simply have no other choice if they want to give the charity a sustainable future, like anything else. I mean, I saw the news during the week that Cineworld, the cinema company, that's been going downhill as well. Lots of things are going downhill at the moment because of this virus that's going around. I mean, they've got to try and get a petition to sort of stop that from going. I mean, don't you think they need to think about a petition sort of thing? So they will lose some colleagues of coronavirus, and it has hit almost every aspect of income for the conservation and the Heritage Age charity, forcing it to close attractions and cancel events. Now, the latest news follows that 162 people who had been told that they were being made redundant, as 124 million of projects were halted or deferred, which brings the Trust's total job losses linked to the pandemic to 1,458 of the latest to lose their job. But 208, though, think about it, 208 were in jobs that pay by the hour. Now, Mike Clancy, the head of the protest union, said that the charity was hugely important to employees and the crucial health of the nation, of the Anstling, and the plan was also, I think it had something to do with, hang on, I'm just going to put this on charge, that's it, to the employers and to the crucial health of the nation would, I think it's, inflamise job losers while hopefully safeguarding the National Trust's future. Now, we will leave that there. I've got a picture of Petworth House in Sussex. Now, that's also run by the Trust. But I think I might have actually been to Petworth House, actually. I mean, I'm sure I've been there, but I've been to so many places in my life. But, but we are going to talk about refusing to wear a face mask in a moment, because there was a news earlier in the week about a person in London who refused to wear a face mask at the Underground station. So I think we'll get to that in a moment. But I have been to Petworth House before, and I'm sure, yes, I have been. It's a beautiful place to go to, and it's just a shame that they're closing it down because of COVID-19. Right, okay, so 400 people have been fined for refusing now to wear a face mask, the usual thing. So, the Tube, a London Tube, I have been on the Tube for years, for a long time, but it's and the buses in London have stepped 105,000 people had not been wearing masks, but have handled, I think it's just 400 fines to passengers who absolutely refuse to comply with the rules. Now, since switching to an enforcement phrase on July the 4th, they have also stopped 7,600 people from boarding a train to bus, and 1,800 passengers have also been removed from London's Swian Highwood said that its policy Highwood as its policy of fining as a last resort, and it's the right one, and the officers have said that those do let it off with a warning and will next time wear a face covering with the whole time. But the figures were pleased as the TfL carried out a point of enforcement operation with British Transport Police at King's Cross St Pancras Station. I think this was the other day, on Thursday, and the fixed penalty notice is £200 and doubles each time someone is caught as well. And I've got a picture of a bloke who's been caught by police in London. And where is this? This is at King's Cross Tube Station, which I notice it very well, because somebody was not wearing a face covering at King's Cross Station in London. Now, trains are now one of the safest ways to travel, apparently. I never knew that. I never knew that trains are one of the safest places to travel. You learn something new every day. But the fictional tickets could, but by the way, do tempt commuters back. Industrially, bosses have said that passenger numbers have dropped by 400 million to 35 million, a figure last was seen in mid-19th century. I think it was from April to June, and the Office of the Rail and Road has received, but they have now returned to 38% of normal levels. Now, Fear revenue fell though to 18.4 million, and then 7% of the figure for the same time last year. And the ORR director Graham Richards has said that we have worked closely with the industry to ensure that the necessary health and safety advice and guidance is in place, and it refers that one of the safest ways to travel, and the inspectors continue to monitor the reality on the ground to ensure people have the confidence that they can travel safely. Now, Robert Nisset to the rail delivery group said that rail firms are keen to work with the government of official season tickets, but Mick Cash of the RMT union warned that urgent radical steps were needed to support the industry with services teetering on the brink, and the Department for Transport defined the pandemic responsive, and the significant decline in passenger numbers reflects people acting on government guidance. And a spokesperson has said that adding the department invented billings in protecting frontline jobs and ensuring the railways stand ready to support the national recovery. There we go. So that's interesting, very interesting. But they're talking about safe railways there, and we'll leave that story there, because I just want to talk about one more story, because millions of people will be affected, and the Lenric has said that I think what it is, that we are currently considering what steps we should take. Obviously, taking the advice of how I think it's the advice of how scientific and medically advisors, and a decision will be made very shortly this week. The Greater Manchester Mayor, that's Andy Burnham, criticised the government for leaving the regional leaders in the dark and accident potential new measures. Now, they tweeted the first time they heard that all bars and restaurants across the north were closed as when they needed it in the Times. They said they have 2 meetings with the cabinet ministers this week, along with other mayors, and it wasn't mentioned once it also accused the government of losing the dressing room, adding that what they are doing is imposing rather than neglecting, and there is a very big difference between those, though. Two things are different between those two things, and when they do know millions of people's lives will be affected, but those, of course, these things as well. Liverpool City's region Metro Mayor Steve Rotherham said that at the moment they have a patchwork of local measures across the country and too much conviction of the public as a result. The Metro reported the other day on figures suggested that the local lockdown restrictions had failed to curb the spread of COVID-19 in the worst hit areas. Now, the infection rates have soared in 19, but 20 towns and cities where that they have been imposed since July the 30th. Analyses of Public Health England and government statistics by the Labour Party did reveal that in Bolton, which is up north, near Blackpool, have infections that have risen from 20 to 100,000 to 255. Now, while in, I think it's Manchester, cases, I mean, I know Manchester is one of the most affected areas in the whole of this country, but its cases have leapt, from 36 to 552, and in Burnley from 21 to 434. Now, around 18 million people are living under local lockdown restrictions, and Boris Johnson's official spokesman has said that we are seeing coronavirus cases rise across the entire country, but they are rising faster in the northeast and northwest. But they are keeping the data under close review, and they're considering the range of options to reduce the spread of the virus in order to protect communities and to protect the NHS. Now, earlier data does suggest that a significant population of encroachter is to the virus, and it's seen to the hospitality sector, and the data is new, and they will continue, They will continue to gather evidence and review it. So we will leave those stories there for today, I think, because I think we've spoken loads about all the stories today. Right, okay, still to come on the show, we are going to be talking more news, there's going to be topical discussions, and there's going to be lots of more great music. Speaking of music, we've got Elton John and David Bowie. Now we've got David Bowie singing China Girl, and then we've got Elton John singing Crocodile Rock.